Bloodshed. The cleverest thing about this movie is the title, with its kind of double meaning. Now, just to be clear, there's actually two films called Bloodshed that was released in 2014. There was this one, and also a film also known as American Weapon, which was kind of had an alternative title as Bloodshed as well. So be aware there are two actual movies of the same name in the same year, and both of them are kind of cheesy B-movie horror movies. Anyway, so let's talk about this version. So Bloodshed basically is centered around a kind of the homeless population of Los Angeles. And we follow a guy called Gabriel who basically rocks up in a kind of storage centre where he's been given a key by his kind of adoptive brother. And basically there he finds a variety of kind of strange characters, all of whom are kind of living in this kind of storage centre. And it's kind of managed by this, you know, kind of mean boss and all that sort of type. Anyway, there happens to be this kind of strange phantom-like woman, kind of deranged killer type, who also seems to be in this kind of storage facility. Now, we're not quite sure whether this is an actual ghost or a kind of corporeal type monster. It's never really explained, and it kind of could be both. But anyway, and it turns out he may have a kind of personal connection to her, and that's pretty much the plot ultimately, just trying to find that out and ultimately trying to not get killed. Now, the main issue I have with this film is the plot is really all over the place. It doesn't make sense. It's been so long meandering around and kind of just doesn't sort of keep you in. The kind of on a technical level, this film is quite poorly made. You kind of the sort of sound editing and things like that just sounds kind of cheap and kind of tinny. And there's not actually a huge amount of dialogue in this film either. So it kind of, you just have long kind of periods of time where just people seem to be looking moping, kind of wandering around, and just kind of comes across as a little bit boring. Now, the actual kind of creature itself, as I mentioned, it's not really explained what she actually is. In some instances, she appears to kind of appear and disappear like a ghost, but she clearly holds things and is kind of reacts to physical damage. So I don't actually know. She's just kind of maybe some ghoul or something, but you don't really know. She kind of looks quite cool. But ultimately, she's just kind of this girl with kind of dirty makeup with long fingernails and kind of white contacts. So she kind of doesn't look all that, you know, imaginative, but she does look, I guess, a little bit scary. Unfortunately, the kind of characters here, the main character, Gabriel, is just a bit of a depressing asshole, to be quite honest. So you don't really root for him. And the kind of peripheral characters are very sort of interchangeable and have no real sort of characteristics themselves. They just have a very sort of thinly sketched over backstories for some of them. So overall, this film was kind of disappointing. Not as good as the trailer suggests. The trailer kind of makes it look like kind of quite an exciting kind of horror film. It really isn't. There's not a lot of actual action. Like I said, most of it is just kind of shots of people walking around and without saying anything. So it's just a very, very boring film, unfortunately. Okay special effects for the budget. It is quite a low budget movie. I think it was around $2 million, I believe. So, you know, I have to give some leeway to that, but overall, it was a bit of a mess. I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.